It's now time to take a look at what you missed from Sunday's game against Jacksonville, and we brought in our friend Dennis Pitta to share his expertise. And Dennis, this is a game where really nothing went right from the very first kickoff.
Yeah, and you typically have these games at least 1 or 2 times a year. We don't know why. You don't really plan on them, but you don't play well from the start. Anything that can go wrong does go wrong, and you end up with a defeat like this.
Well, on the offensive side, they never really had success, particularly the first-team offense. And after the game, wide receiver Jeremy Maclin talked about how they took away the middle of the field, and that made things really tough on the passing game. Here's an example of that. What are you seeing on this play, and what did you see throughout the game?
Well, I think Jeremy Maclin was right when he said they were trying to take away the middle of the field. And they were largely able to do that because they could generate a pass rush with only sending 4 guys, which allows you the opportunity to drop the remaining 7 into coverage. If you take a look at this play specifically, you have Jeremy Maclin at the top of your screen, releases inside and gets up the seam. They drop 7 into coverage. The linebacker's sitting right underneath the throwing window for Joe Flacco. He's got to put the ball up and over the defender, a little bit too high and out of the reach of Jeremy Maclin, and falls incomplete there.
So are these linebackers here in the middle of the field, are they in zone coverage, just taking up that space there?
Exactly. These are zone droppers as linebackers, and so their job is to get depth and make sure that you can't complete a ball in the middle of the field. And Telvin Smith in this case is the one that Joe Flacco has to throw the ball over the top of. Does a good job of getting big, making Joe throw the ball a little bit too high and out of the reach.
That just kind of summed things up for how it went the entire day for the offense. Now, as tough of a game as it was on Sunday, there's always something that you can take away that's positive. What did you see in Sunday's game that you liked?
Well, I saw 2 young players that really emerged as playmakers in this game. Number 1, Alex Collins, the running back, second-year player from Seattle, a guy who showed explosiveness and looks like a dynamic running back. The other one, rookie Marlon Humphrey, played tight coverage all day, had some really good plays, and looks like a future star for this team.
Yeah, Marlon looks like he's going to be getting more and more snaps if he continues to play like this. So let's take a look at some plays here with Marlon Humphrey, and I think that these really show how well he played in Sunday's game and what we've seen from him so far this year.
Yeah, he does a nice job here covering this go route down the field, stays in the hip pocket of the receiver, and the thing that I really like that shows maturity as a young player is he turns to locate the football. Now, a flag was thrown.
Where's the flag on this? I don't see any real contact that would deem a penalty.
And that's my point. Typically, you see a flag when the defender doesn't turn his head. He plays the receiver, tries to get in his way. But Marlon does a really nice job of trying to locate the football, make a play on the ball and not necessarily just on the man.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is after that play, he came right back. And sometimes you worry about a young player when he gets a flag like that, how he's going to respond. This is just a couple of plays later.
Yeah, and he responds really, really well. You see a fade throw here in the end zone, a 50-50 ball, does a nice job of keeping his hands on the receiver and making a play to break it up. Marlon
is somebody that he's not getting starting reps right now, but he's subbing in there for Brandon Carr, subbing in there for Jimmy Smith, and I got to believe that he's going to see more reps in the future.
Yeah, I think he's a young player that the Ravens are starting to have a ton of confidence in, and you'll see him continue to see more and more playing time.
Somebody else who falls into that category is on the offensive side of the ball, and that's running back Alex Collins. I mean, we've talked about him a little bit. He seems like he's got some juice in this backfield.
Yeah, and every time we've seen Alex Collins thus far in this season, he's been impressive. He gets the ball, he's explosive, he's quick, he's shifty, and has good vision for a running back. Just a second-year player, I've been very impressed with what he's been able to do.
You know, what is it that he's doing so well? Is it his speed? Is it the vision? It's hard to kind of pinpoint it, but to me, just to my naked eye, it looks like he's got a little bit more of a burst than any of the other backs.
Well, it's a combination of a lot of things. He does have great burst. He's got very good vision, and you see it on this play in particular. He does a nice job bouncing the ball outside when the hole isn't there and makes defenders miss. I mean, he runs hard and he continues to turn those legs and gets a lot of yards after contact.
Yeah, he's somebody that I think has been kind of fun to watch, and it'll be curious to see how the Ravens handle this running back rotation moving forward.
And you see him here on number 26, a great juke move in open space. He's a tough guy to bring down, runs hard. I've been very impressed.
Yeah, so I think Alex Collins is definitely someone to watch, and it'll be interesting to see if he gets more reps early in the game if he continues to play like that. Dennis, thank you very much for your insight, and we'll see what happens on Sunday against the Steelers.